If I had known that a few feet away from Ladywood High School, the Felician nuns were operating a nut house, I never would have moved back to Michigan to finish my feminist book on women in Hollywood film. The intersection of 5 Mile Road in Livonia, Michigan, is home to the Felician nuns, the old world, undereducated nuns who ran St. Michael's Grade School and Ladywood High School with outdated ideas like child beating and teaching fear. The Felician nuns built St. Mary Mercy Hospital, part of Trinity Health. I escaped Catholicism as a child, but was recaptured and held illegally by my Catholic enemies. Once labeled mentally ill, erroneously and illegally, it is impossible to shake the label. My life has been ruined, put into danger, in fact. Because of the Oakland Community College teacher witch hunt, I am reasonably depressed. I am suffering mentally and financially as planned. At age 52, witch hunted since age 48, I am truly facing homelessness next. In the last 4 years, I have systematically lost nearly everything. Naturally, sometimes I cry, wail, moan, scream, alone in my house. I am tortured by a lack of justice amid widespread government, press, and social media awareness of my plight, so these behaviors are normal. Governor Rick Snyder and Attorney General Bill Schuette are actively obstructing justice regarding the events of February 22, 2013, at St. Mary Mercy Hospital when I was locked up in violation of state law without need or evaluation in a mental ward for a week. Please try to imagine my dilemma. My life is in danger. If a stranger, say a supposedly caring neighbor, calls the police because I am crying in my home, I could be taken away and locked up again, which is why I say the devil bowls with a snowball. I've been locked up once without need or reason due to a botched police welfare check. It could easily happen again. Think about it. If I seek so-called professional help for my natural Oakland Community College witch hunt depression, I risk being disbelieved and locked up again. I have a ton of evidence to support my claim, but who is going to read and listen? As a college reading and writing teacher, I spoke out about the reading crisis. Schools teach students how and why not to read. That fact haunts me now. It haunts us all. My dead husband's summer cabin is in tax forfeiture. I have no work prospects. No employer wants to hear any story about loony bin lockup. Oakland Community College forced me to quit after I broke out of the loony bin. I am terrified of my homeless future. A homeless person will not be able to convince anyone of my crazy true story. Once homeless, a person can easily disappear. My grandma lived past 100. Without a miracle, and soon I face 50 years of homelessness or unnecessary lockup because I advocated for education reform. I am constantly terrified or hoping against reason. You can't imagine my pain. I was never described with the word suicidal by anyone until newly hired interim human resource labor attorney at Oakland Community College, William MacQueen, began hounding me in April 2012 with a paper trail designed to malign and ruin me. He had never even met me when he perniciously mislabeled me with a vague mental illness based on nothing. Apparently, I was too loud a voice speaking for education reform during my 7 years full-time teaching English. In February 2013, William MacQueen morphed his paper trail into a game of telephone that has yet to end. Oakland Community College called me suicidal that day when I was not. People are still talking about me, calling me crazy, without knowing me or the facts. And that makes my life deeply painful, in fact impossible. A very nice neighbor at the lake in mid-Michigan has been very generous. She's a Trump supporter, kind but not particularly thoughtful regarding the big picture. Trump's going to dump Obamacare and replace it with something better. Just like that, no problem, she explained to me confidently after seeing the Donald appear in the area. This neighbor is pretty normal. She does not understand my story. She does not want to. She would like to adopt my dog. She expects to find me dead. She avoids knocking on the door when I'm having an episode, her word. I have not said what I think. Keep your labels to yourself, please. She may call me crazy behind my back. Marty Froman is the State Department of Human Services social worker who has recently been sent to my home by a mystery someone. Treating me like a ward of the state, he refuses to tell me who. Marty told me to my face he does not believe my witch hunt story or the fact I was turned down for welfare. I don't know what happened to you, he said after I told him my employer made false police reports designed to set me up with the Livonia Police. Well, I certainly know what happened. The Livonia Police botched a welfare check, and St. Mary Mercy Hospital emergency room doctor Andrew Muzychka never evaluated me. We've never met. I was locked up without evaluation in gross violation of state law, yet Attorney General Bill Schuette refuses to prosecute, and the governor is pretending he doesn't know, like he is pretending he didn't know about the Flint water crisis as it developed. I have said over and over for years, the doctor who signed me into the Catholic Looney bin, Andrew Muzychka, never met me. I have repeated, I was not evaluated to cops, judges, lawyers, on social media, to social workers, to friends, to the Livonia Catholic community, to everyone, because that's what happened. Marty Froman said he'd arrived to prioritize my pressing needs, like food, running water, a working toilet, and electricity. I have suffered without these comforts on and off for years now due to the witch hunt. Repeatedly, I've asked Marty about re-reporting the crimes committed against me, but he keeps blowing me off. I informed Marty the biggest threat to my health is the mental torture of not being heard or believed. The false police reports made by Oakland Community College calling me suicidal, falsely, have been available through the Freedom of Information Act on YouTube for years. The evidence is overwhelming and clear if one takes the time. People know, including many media organizations, but I don't know who knows what or what they think. I never recognized the concept of bullying until the witch hunt. Trolls call me fat, lazy, crazy, someone who should be discredited and locked up. Because of all this abuse, I understand the pain that leads the suicidal to suicide and some to mass murder. I wish I could kill myself to end this never-ending nightmare. But I am not suicidal. I'm afraid I will need to kill myself to avoid homelessness, but I won't be able to because I am not suicidal. My pain is so great. My broken self wishes I could torture and kill the criminals and the trolls and everyone who has willingly hurt me. My destroyed inner child wishes I could make them all scream in bloody pain, make them suffer like I have been made to suffer. But I am not crazy, dangerous, or suicidal, so instead I walk, try to eat well, make art, continue my fight, and cry, ideally when I'm alone. At this point, desperate to save my life, I have been reduced to sharing my pain online. Many times I have made peace offerings. Nothing works. Not humor, nothing. My healthy self wants to emerge stronger and better, but I can't win without press coverage, which I can't force. I can't win without a lawyer I can't pay for, and I can't win without justice I can't decide. Civil rights are effectively reserved for the rich. Evidence means nothing when the general public doesn't read news reports or anything longer than a Twitter post. I've been forced to take the chance and go public with my story for all the world to see, judge, and ignore. My skin is so thin. I have lost the boundaries it took me decades to build, no thanks to the Catholic worldview that demeans women. Oh God, no. I moan sometimes for hours before I can move, thinking of the many layers that trap me. A false God, corrupt state, sheep Catholic family, a sexist culture. There aren't many degrees of separation between the sexism of religious life and the sexism of civic life. The Livonia Catholics are criminals, hiding behind false piety. The world over, Catholics get away with crime. I'm trapped in hell on earth by God himself. Hence my metaphor, Jesus raped me. Mary was not a virgin. Jesus did not rise from the dead. The Bible is not the word of some white male god. I demand to be recognized by the Vatican and excommunicated. I demand justice for February 22nd, 2013. I might as well try to capture the wind. The Catholics don't ask, and they don't listen. Their political allies like Bill Schuette protect them, not me. Every time I retell the story, I relive the trauma, and I want to die. I am surprised the trauma hasn't killed me. I am truly surprised I am not dead from sheer pain. At St. Mary Mercy, I was handed over in handcuffs by a sexist white male police officer, the stupid cop who led the botched welfare check for the Livonia Police, who need training. Handcuffs give a bad impression. I was taken to the back door of St. Mary Mercy like a criminal, which is how I was treated. I took a photo shoot at the hospital 2 years ago in April 2014. The place was oddly empty that Saturday, probably due to the Catholics' poor reputation. Likewise, the area where I was taken on February 22nd, 2013 was dark, unpopulated. The Looney bin had not been remodeled like the rest of the place had been. There were no doctors. There were no other patients. It was so strange. I knew I was deeply fucked. I was afraid. The few staff members scrambling around were college-aged, likely part-timers without experience, reminiscent of my former students in Comp 1 and Comp 2. I was undressed and treated like I was crazy dangerous without evaluation. Like I've said over and over, I was put in a guarded room where I waited for a doctor who never arrived. Later online, I identified first-year medical student Nicole Shattuck, who briefly listened to a 3-sentence summary of my story about William MacQueen, the Oakland Community College administrator who executed the witch hunt, who ordered the false police reports. I knew Oakland Community College called the Livonia cops, but Nicole Shattuck didn't. I knew I wasn't being paid, that I was being witch hunted, but the Livonia cops didn't. Nicole Shattuck did not ask any questions. She did not listen. She did not evaluate. She was a student. The St. Mary Mercy paperwork says I was not employed, and yet my employer set me up. Nicole Shattuck believed the Livonia cops story, Oakland Community College's purposeful defamation. A crazy game of telephone took over. Crazy lady, lock her up. Nicole Shattuck soon left. I was made to wait. No doctor ever came. I complained to the staff, when available, that I needed to make a phone call, but they wouldn't let me, as if I were held in Catholic Siberia. The youngsters even laughed about me not having my cell phone with its stored phone numbers. How could I make a call without phone numbers? I needed to contact someone to rescue my old dog girl from the pound, where stupid cop said he would take her. My sick husband had unexpectedly died about 2 months before, due to witch hunt stress. Now the Livonia cops were trying to kill my dog. Long minutes passed. Because of my controlled demeanor, after a while, the cell to my door was left open. The cops did return to ask stupid questions like my name. The slight male guard slipped away. I took a chance. I stepped lightly into the dark, empty hallway and tried to quickly and calmly log on to a waiting computer in order to access Google Mail. I almost made it. The college staff, none of them doctors or nurses, returned. Chaos erupted. A goon squad of white males was called. I was jumped for the second time that day. The first time by 4 white male Livonia cops. One goon with handlebar mustache smiled while he manhandled me. I was shackled hand and foot, which is the worst feeling in the world. One I still feel, one that makes me want to die. I was drugged enough to knock me out by part-time college students without medical degrees. For no reason. Oakland Community College set me up. Livonia Police botched a welfare check. I was not evaluated and the law was broken by Livonia Catholics. Oh God, no. I woke up about 5 or 6 hours later in a different part of the hospital, locked up illegally and without need in a Catholic loony bin by the Catholic enemies of my youth. Oh God, no. The Livonia Police fuck the bitch squad had arrived at my home, immediately jumped me, and illegally abducted me around 10 a.m., yet it was dark outside and I was groggy when I first met my assigned loony bin doctor, Dr. Mystery. What time does it get dark in February? After business hours. What happened to my body those many hours I was knocked out? The week I was held illegally against need did not get any better. Dr. Mystery and the other doctors played hooky and did not meet with patients daily as required by law. The Catholic hospital has admitted guilt in writing, and the Catholic hospital has also denied liability in writing to cover their sins. My Catholic relatives have behaved like sheep and supported my criminal Catholic captors, not me. You can't imagine my pain. I am so alone. No one wants to hear my story. And yet I can't stop telling it as I fight to survive. Everything hurts. There's no escape. What am I supposed to do?